What's up, everybody? We never arrive late. We always arrive just on time when we're supposed to, or some kind of Gandalf thing. This is the Uncanny Omar.
Yeah, I don't think that was quite right, was it? But we get the gist. I'm Astonishing Melanie.
You're not here to correct me. You're not here to correct me. It's Kurtis and Lars' job. And everybody to my right-hand side is my dude from the Epic Marvel Podcast, Kurtis. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my dude.
Well, I think you just said everything people need to know. My name is Kurtis, and I'm from the Epic Marvel Podcast. I like comics.
You like
One more
comics?
thing about myself. Well,
where do you find your podcast? Is it on YouTube?
Sorry, what? What did you say?
Is your podcast on YouTube? Where can you find it?
Yeah. epicmarvelpodcast.com. You can go to any major podcast app. It is also, I've started putting some episodes on YouTube, but YouTube is a new world for me, so I'm not so familiar. I just come on Omar's stream.
I only listen to podcasts on YouTube. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay.
Kurtis, don't do it. Look back. Just don't. Omar's Gandalf from Wish. Thanks, critique. Lars is joining us. I just yelled at him. There he is. Lars, he saw my message. I yelled at Lars. Lars like, oh my gosh, is it 12:30 already? I thought these fools said it was give us Lars. Oh, you guys are the best for Lars. That's a sweet bookshelf. It is, Kurtis. That is a sweet bookshelf they're looking at.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's
multiple bookshelves.
Multiple bookshelves, yes. That was one of the things when, in my old place, we used to just rent, and it was small, and I'd have like a bookshelf over here and a bookshelf over there, kind of when I could make space. And then I had 3 children, and it was really tight. But then we moved into this bigger place, and I now have a dedicated spot all for bookshelves, which is always really nice.
Yeah.
It's great to have a dedicated spot. I almost said a Lars spot because I keep hearing Lars.
Yeah, where's that guy? Come on.
Where my Lars stands at? Apparently everywhere. I just messaged him again. Lars. I remember the last time we did this, he was having internet problems, or not internet problems, but equipment problems. So hopefully he's not having that again. And it looks like a peaceful corner, Kurtis. I see some duck. Are those duck books over there on the left-hand side? Well, you're right.
Right up there. It's that's the Carl Barks Ducktail, or Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge books.
You got Don Rosa there too, right?
Don Rosa is going to be at Heroes Con.
Oh yeah. I have a couple of Don Rosas. I haven't filled in that collection yet, though. Not yet. I've been busy, preoccupied with other ones.
Wow, this is a threat. Give us Lars, or you have to reread Civil War 2.
I've never read that.
Believe it or not, it's
what? It's better than the first one?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's equally just as bad. But people love the first one. Mm-hmm. Kurtis, how do you feel about Civil War?
I really enjoyed it when it came out.
Well, hold on. The American Civil War, I mean.
I don't know anything about the American Civil War.
Well,
they don't teach you that in Canada.
Sorry, no idea.
Kurtis is having technical issues, by the way, so he said hang on. So we can't do anything until Kurtis gets here, so everybody needs to be quiet.
I'm here already.
Oh. Arjun's gonna go though.
Oh wait, Arjun Squirrel Girl's coming out. There. When Spawn reprinted, whenever the Todd father decides to get those reprinted.
Essex likes Civil War. Oh, Batman Year 2 and Civil War 2, the greatest stories ever told.
Okay, I don't know if that's trolling me or what Roberto Rodriguez is doing there. Civil War 2 has made me dislike Carol ever since. Wow, that bad, really? Like you hate the character because of that. What's up, Martin? Who had to go? Arjun?
Mm-hmm.
He'll catch a replay. This is Jason does stuff on another account since I lost my phone, but give us Lars, we so deserve. We're trying. Technical difficulty.
Kal-El would like to meet Don Rosa. We met him a couple of times. Don't give him something to design.
Don Rosa was in Vancouver. Don Rosa was in Vancouver for an interview, and I got to interview him. I got to be on the panel. It was very, very, very fun.
I knew that. I knew that.
You're jealous?
A little bit of jealous. Yeah, a little bit. Why did you have to point it out, though? I don't think anybody noticed my jealousy until you pointed it out. Wait, that's really cool. America did a Civil War after Marvel's masterpiece. Hey, Omar, any news on the mapping of Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon? Right now, they are how do I put this? Super, super busy finishing out the catalog, and any questions I have for them is usually like, we'll get on that soon. Weirdo the Beardo says Kurtis wins best shirt on. Dude, Secret of Mana? What do you have? Okay. It's not even the real Chippendales. They have dead eyes on that shirt.
I got dead eyes.
Yeah, look, they got like.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They don't have any soul.
It's
in
true.
their
It's
eye.
Chibi
yeah,
sized.
they are. It's a stylized version of them. Yeah,
Right.
my cousin bought me this shirt, so I'm not complaining. It's a nice shirt.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
cool. But it's not cooler than Secret of Mana in the original pixelated character.
See, it's a joke on mine. So there. Wait, can you see it?
Yeah, weirdo, the Beardo. Hey, Near Mid just bought the first 2 Uncanny Omnis from Dying Breed Collectors after your recommendation. Definitely buying from them again. Yeah, Johnny's a good guy. He's a good dude. He's good people. He usually has the stuff like when everybody else is out, like I usually send people over there. Trials of Man. What is happening? Is everybody trolling me today? Trials of Mana better than Secret of Mana?
A couple of people asking if there are any surprises today.
Melanie's a surprise. That's, I mean, there are a couple of trades, but I do have the list of the Marvel Epic collections that Kurtis and Lars and I and OmniDog are going to be going over sometime, probably next week. Just waiting on a few covers. There's a new line.
Oh.
And Lars, hey,
Whoa!
I am here. I am
Hold
here.
up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
Can you hear us?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Sorry, the unpaid guy who handles my tech and who doesn't exist was having some problems. I seem to be on my laptop camera, but yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm fresh. I'm ready. Here we are.
Excellent. Well, happy to have you here, man.
Thank you.
People were asking about you.
It's very kind.
forgot-
It's very kind.
They forgot all about me. They compared you to Civil War II.
Their love is very fickle. Their love is very fickle.
King has returned.
The king
What?
is returned. Quickly, I should mention, those of you who are, astute will notice behind me, I have my first comic book Kallax, okay? Because, yeah.
Fancy schmancy.
Yes, it is very fancy schmancy. First time ever, because it's from IKEA, and I'm used to IKEA being cheap Swedish crap. But upon the recommendation of these gentlemen, they said a Kallax would serve me very well. So for the first time ever, I do not have my comic collection on what looks like, the sort of shelves a college student would use.
Okay, so first of all, Lars, if you don't quit calling it a Kallax, I'm gonna boot you.
Target.
No, it's not. It's Kallax, guys.
Kallax.
Swedish furniture. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. You're probably saying it right though, just because of the way you dress and you have a Kermit the Frog pin. I assume you're.
It's true. This is to honor Kurtis and his rendition of Kermit, because now, Kurtis, you can be close to my heart in so many ways.
Oh wow, that's such an honor. I really like that pin. Yeah, that's great.
So before we go any further, OmniDog cannot make it today because he is going to the doctors for something really important, but he'll be happy to join us next time. And he is more than happy to join us for the Epic collections that we're going to be going over. And I'm sorry, Kurtis. I know I usually say like, "Hey, can you do it like tomorrow?" Because usually, like, it's how it is. Like they get things out, and we gotta announce them. So I know that a couple of them have leaked, including one that I teased about, which I said was going to finish out a line, and that is Ant-Man Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
We could speculate on that more because I'm actually not sure that that's going to finish out a line based on the contents that we've seen. So
you think there's an Ant-Man 3?
There might be.
Huh. Interesting, Kurtis.
Yeah. But we can talk about that on the Epic Collection stream when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Mapping is a very important business.
Yeah.
Omar, not everything in this world should sound like a superhero name. I think Kallax sounds more like a superhero than Kallax. Kallax is like a guy that comes over in Kentucky.
Kallax kind of sounds like a laxative. I mean,
y'all bring that Kallax over? That doesn't sound like a superhero. Oh, look, the mighty Kallax is here. See the difference?
No.
Oh,
Kallax sounds more.
Yep, there she is. That's the first time she's correcting me. Wait, Ant-Man 2. Ant-Man 2.
Maybe it should be Kallax in honor of Kal-El.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
Kallax.
Ant-Man 2 is actually happening. It is. I teased it and then it got leaked, but officially it will be when Kurtis and Lars and OmniDog and I get to announce the epics coming out from January to, I think, Do I have August? No, I think it's what is that? April? I don't know.
April.
Months. Yes, I do have the list. I just don't have the covers yet.
Right.
So as soon as I get those.
Kal-El approves.
Oh, Kal-El is here. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
See,
when are we going to get more of your Omnis, Kal-El? That is the question.
Did you know
Omar,
that
when is
John...
the June collected edition video coming? Friday. I'm working on that right now. Thursday, if you're on our Patreon.
He filmed it this morning.
When you can't afford laxatives,
True.
AJ, you buy K-Lax.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to start? I'm sorry, Lars. Where can people find you? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I mean, most of you know who I am, I'm sure. But, like Stanley said, every comic book is someone's first. So I'm Lars Pearson. I used to work for Wizard Magazine. I currently work for Norwegian Press. And it's nice to be here.
Oh, thank you for joining us. We don't need the covers, Omar. Just do the epic announcements here. Yes, we don't need the covers, but I do need approval. So I can't do them yet. How is Billy pronounced then? That is a question. If you're pronouncing
Biley.
what is wrong with you people? I have 4 IKEA Billies that are kind of warping. Would it be better if I put the heavy books with hardcovers and stuff on the K-Laxes?
Well, I have the Billies, but they're the half size. They're not the full size ones, so the shelves don't bow at all. They're nice and solid.
It was honestly Omar saying that you'd had some for 10 years and that they hadn't bowed at all. So yeah,
I haven't had any issues, and this episode is not sponsored by IKEA. So
no. and they were delivered right to my door, which is also nice because I didn't want to drive to Omaha. Well, no, I'd have to drive to like Kansas City.
Oh wow!
Wait a minute.
Good Lord!
Oh my goodness!
No, Morbius full of grace. The Morbius. So Jimmy really loves Morbius, like a lot. Not even comic book Morbius, just the movie Morbius.
I love everybody's pronunciations of Billy and
Omar needing approval means he needs the views for another. Oh, I need approval from Marvel. If I just announce stuff, they're gonna be like, it's Morbin time, bro. Oh my gosh! All right. Let's go ahead and will you be talking about Conan leaving Marvel in July? This is a question that I've been asked so many times, and all I can say is just look to the solicits, and everybody will have an answer when King Conan Volume 6 or Issue 6 comes out. That's what I've been told to say, just in case, because if I quote anybody, it could get people in trouble. There's just so many things about it that have been, and everybody and their mother has already made a video about it. Assume it like they claim to know more than anybody else, and they don't know squat. Like everybody.
I was slightly unclear if the license had been pulled in full or just for new material.
That's the question. Okay. That's one of the big questions. I'm on Reddit and I watch PewDiePie's I'm Cool. What is that?
What in God's name is happening?
All right, let's start this. This is your first time doing this with us?
Maybe perhaps with Lars and Kurtis, but I have been on before, and I gave my 2 cents about the covers.
Awesome. Oh yeah, this is what you're really good at. Yeah. Let us know if this is big enough. Yes, that's what she said, or he said.
That's right.
Thank you.
Can I?
Yeah, what if the answer to that was no? Is this big enough? No.
I'm not waiting for them to answer.
All right, we gotta do it in the voice. The unbeatable Squirrel Girl Omnibus.
Oh yeah,
interesting cover.
This is a big book. This is 1,592 pages. Please, somebody.
Wow.
Quickly check. Is that bigger than AVX, or is AVX 1,600 and something? I know AVX is going to be the biggest omnibus, but is this? I can't remember if it's 1,600 or not. It is $150, but then again, so is I think King in Black and AVX are 150, so it's not our first one. It's just big enough. Thank you. So this does collect a huge chunk of stories of the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. No. It does not feature her first appearance. She was created by Steve Ditko, but it just features the era of unbeatable Squirrel Girl. 1 through 50 beats up the Marvel Universe, Howard the Duck 6, the first 8-issue series that led into the 50-issue series, and a year of Marvel's unbeatable Not Brand Act 14.
2 people requesting it to be a tad bit bigger. Done. Big. I mean, I can go bigger.
No,
enough?
I mean, this isn't billed as Unbeatable Squirrel Girl by Ryan North, but that they basically could have done that as well. Yeah.
I mean, you have Chip Zdarsky because he was writing Howard the Duck, and
this isn't another one. This is a because somebody was saying, is this another Squirrel Girl? It's the same one you announced.
Yeah, there's not enough material for 2 Squirrel Girl Omnis.
No.
But I'm sure we'll get a Squirrel Girl Omnibus Volume 2 before we get a Man of Steel Omnibus Volume 2. You hear that, DC?
I am one of those who had never given Squirrel Girl any thought until the Ryan North era came about, and my God, could not miss an issue. And I think last time someone was joking that about a Squirrel Girl Masterworks. I would totally buy a Squirrel Girl Masterworks, absolutely. So I'm thrilled that this is coming out.
Well, it's a huge book, and I have to say, I know that he only did the covers, but I love Arthur Adams, and that cover's just awesome.
And it's another weird case where I actually have the deluxe editions, but they didn't finish those out.
They discontinued those, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got like all the deluxe editions and then the trade paperbacks that they finished it out with. So having it all in one would be very nice.
That's how they get you.
I mean, it kind of is. Well, again, thrillingly with the Jason Aaron Thor, they did finish out the deluxe edition, so that was very kind of them.
Except they didn't include things like Thor's or Unworthy Thor, Lars. And as a completist, as a real fan, you need that omnibus.
No. Remember, Omar, I'm the heretic because I am not a completist.
Oh yeah, you're crazy.
Right? Again,
thank you guys.
1680 pages.
Okay, so AVX is still the king of big omnis, thicker than a Snicker. Ooh, we should have Omnis at the end of the year where we host the Omnis and we give away the thicker than a Snicker
award. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
The award to Christina Hendricks. Oh no, it has to be booked, doesn't it?
The Justice League Dark is also 1,648 pages.
Well, Marvel said, "Hold my beer, Lars," because Captain America by Nick Spencer, Volume 1. That's right. There's enough material. There is actually enough material for a Volume 2 here. Yeah. Nick Spencer, Daniel Acuna, Joe Bennett, Jesus Zaiz, Javier Pina, Mark Bagley. I was trying to think. Is it? Yeah, Jesus Zaiz is the one that drew the Steve Rogers Captain America, and then we have Daniel Acuna drawing the Sam Wilson stories. So this is when Captain America became 2 books. Mm-hmm. He became Sam Wilson, Steve Rogers. Then they came back later on together into 1 book. But this does collect Standoff, a bunch of the one-shots of Standoff, the Free Comic Book Day. It doesn't include all of Civil War II. I'm so sorry, Lars, but it does include Civil War II, The Oath.
Yes, my heart is broken. Is this the one that has the controversial thing where they did the time jiggery pokery and Captain America turned into a Nazi?
It leads into the Secret Empire era of Captain America.
You sounded like the Doctor when you said that.
It's true. Yes, and I am on video, so it's Blink all over again. Yeah.
He's what's the time? The Professor Time from what's it called? Community.
Oh, right. Really quick, Lars, I'm reading the Titan Comics collected edition of the 10th Doctor.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really digging it.
Yeah, no, those are good, and the Matt Smith ones are good too. Yeah.
Omar, what happened to the Jane Foster Valkyrie book that was supposed to be out this week? Actually, I just went over my collected editions for June. I recorded that earlier, and that is coming out the 3rd week of June. So not canceled, just what's it called? Delayed, if that.
Inspector Spacetime. And Josh had a dream last night with the Weeping Angels. Weird.
So it doesn't include Secret Empire. No. Will Volume 2? I think Volume 2 will include it just because it's such a big part of that story, and everything gets wrapped up in the Captain America, Sam Wilson, and Steve Rogers run. So I think it will be. Yes, I did watch Stranger Things. I think I'm going to try to review it with Amanda tonight. My daughter and I really enjoyed the season. Marvel Masterworks Ka-Zar, or as Kurtis likes to call him,
Ka-Zar?
No. I say Ka-Zar.
I say Ka-Zar.
That's who it is.
You called him something else. Okay. This is a big book. This one, I think the last volume 2, came out in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So I love when they surprise us with more things, like especially if you are a Marvel Masterworks collector. This stuff has not previously been collected. I don't think in anything, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so.
It's this predates the omnibus that came out. This is the stuff from the 70s. I think 74. So it collects Ka-Zar 70 from 1974 6 through 9 and Savage Tales 5 through 11.
Yeah.
Jerry Conway, Carla Conway, Archie Goodwin, Stan Lee, Doug Mensch, Big John Buscema. Ooh, Russ Heath and Ross Andrew. Nice. Quasar is better than Ka-Zar. Yes, we know, Jimmy. That is not a lie.
Ka-Zar with the power of the K-Lax.
This is the one that took me by surprise. I'm like, holy crap.
Right,
When I got to announce this, I was like, they're already doing this?
Wow, yeah.
I think this is the most modern run that's been collected immediately. I mean, I remember the Captain America by Ed Brubaker. People like that weren't collecting collected editions back then. Those Omnis were coming out as he was writing the series. That's why some of them are like 500 pages. That's why some of them are like 700 pages. You know, Marvel was just kind of like is blindly batting as to when he was going to finish the story. With this, I think they waited for it to be done. It just surprises me that it got collected so quickly and gives me hope that other books that from the modern era are going to be collected that quickly. But yes, this is Amazing Spider-Man Beyond. 3 covers. I love that Arthur Adams cover. Such a fanboy. This is the Humberto Ramos cover and then the Arthur Adams cover from issue number 1.
Okay, who's writing Spider-Man right now, currently?
Right now, currently is Zeb Wells, but this is the Brain Trust era of Spider-Man. You know how we had like the Brain Trust during Brand New Day?
Yeah.
With like, who are they? Dan Slott and Mark Waid, Bob Gale. Can't remember, but this is Zeb Wells, Kelly Thompson, Jen McKay, Cody Ziegler, and Saladin Ahmed.
Okay, I see.
And it's the Beyond Corporation. The big thing about this one is this is the return of a character, and I don't try to spoil things, but it's the return of a character that we hadn't seen in a long time, and he took over the role of Spider-Man.
Right
Shut up, don't say anything.
There's a hint on the cover.
It says it on the cover. All right. Sometimes I can't help spoilers. Fortnite. Melanie, how would you read that?
X Marvel. Oh, not Times. Versus? What?
Why didn't you just write verses?
I don't know. Fortnite X Marvel. How do you say that?
10. Fortnite 10 Marvel.
Fortnite 10 Marvel.
Why would it be 10, guys?
Fortnite Hearts Marvel.
I bring you people on the channel.
No, it's Grant Morrison's fault because ever since he decided that Weapon X meant Weapon 10,
I love Grant Morrison.
No, it's
everything
Powers
they do.
of X, Powers of 10.
Powers of 10.
But that story can go right the hell. I hate Attack on Weapon Plus. Oh man. That is a retcon I don't agree with, and I love Grant Morrison and everything they've done. Well, for the most part, but that retcon really made me mad.
Fortnite Cross Marvel. Fortnite.
Yeah,
Versus. That was right.
Why didn't they just write versus? Anyway, it might be a Fortnite thing. Collecting Fortnite 0 War 1 through 5.
It's just a thing.
It is a premiere hardcover, though.
Whoa.
For a second, thought it was Transformers. Go back up.
No, it's Fortnite. Well, okay, so the Marvel premieres, the premiere hardcovers, we haven't seen those in a long time. Right? That is a standard size. No, wait, that's a 10 by. Hold on a second.
They only save the premiere hardcovers for the absolute best now. Fortnite X Marvel.
So, yeah, that's a standard hardcover. I don't think they've done one in a long time, like a standard size hardcover.
Josh is saying the X is silent. It's just showing a team up.
Oh, Fortnite and
Marvel.
Oh,
Thank you for the super chat, Sage Bowen. Hey, Omar, any news on the Mutants or X Factor hardcover from the Hickman era? From the Dawn of X era? No, but I do have announcements for that Dawn of X era. More of those.
Tech 3000 is asking, is the Spider-Man Beyond self-contained, or did we need to read the current series?
Without going into spoilers, Spider-Man Beyond, towards the end of that run, does something that leads into what I assume is going to be a big event this summer, maybe, because it was part of the free comic book day Spider-Man story, and it involves the X-Men, and that's all I will say without jumping into spoilers. But yes, it's self-contained, but the ending leads into something like it changes thing. 10 men. It means 10.
Or cash grab is what John is saying.
I thought Fortnite was a WB thing, honestly.
True. So many of these things are code for just a cash grab. Yeah.
Okay. But the cover's by Lionel Francis Yu.
Nice cover.
I don't recognize these characters.
No.
Curtis, you look like a Fortnite guy. Who are those guys?
I don't know. My kids play Fortnite, but I don't.
Sure, Curtis.
Our kids play old school games, so let me tell you that.
My perception in schools is that it is becoming one of the great divisions, or has been one of the great divisions. You know, we have liberal, conservative, we have different parts of the country, and then we have Fortnite kids and non-Fortnite kids. So,
should we be reading Nick Spencer's run before Beyond? No, you don't need to. Beyond is a completely fresh start. Like, there's nothing that continues from the Zeb Wells era to the Beyond era.
I didn't. What is it, baby?
What
do you need me to do?
Wi-Fi, nothing. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay. I didn't know this existed. Miracleman by Gaiman and Buckingham?
Okay, so
I want to read it.
A trade paperback collection of what's already out.
Yeah, so this is the follow-up to Alan Moore's run on Miracleman. And it's one that hasn't been finished yet.
Yeah.
But with this, it gives me hope they're going to wrap it up, and that's why it wasn't part of the omnibus.
Yeah.
So this is Miracleman, the Golden Age. It is Mark Buckingham rejoining Neil Gaiman again. So hopefully we'll get some more.
Oh, what is going on
we'll
there?
Get some more. I really hope.
Now that we have nudity, it's great. And bronzed nudity as well.
Nudity.
I hope it's embossed, so they stick out.
Well, yeah, so that you can run your hands over it. Certainly. Yeah, they keep making goo eyes at us that Gaiman and Buckingham might be finally finishing this out, but they've not said anything about completion. So,
hey, I want to see.
Wait, hold on. Let me say hi to General Kenobi here. Hello there. I will say that the X-Men book that I have that is coming out, there's X-Men Red that's coming out.
Yeah,
that's the Al Ewing series, and then there's the, what is that called? The X-Men Immortal X-Men by Gillen.
If I may, I'm actually reading these books. So yes,
Yes.
The Immortal X-Men book concerns Krakoa's Quiet Council, the people who run the nation. X-Men Red concerns the X-Men on Mars. But, well, there still is an X-Men book.
Yes. That
with
was by
that team
Jerry
that,
Duggan.
yeah, the public voted on who the members are going to be, and they're based in New York. And I don't think that one's ending. Is it? I don't think so.
No, that's still ongoing until they get into the new era.
Yeah, that's kind of the default. Here is the X-Men book.
Is it Uncanny? Is it called Uncanny X-Men?
No,
X-Men?
I think it's just called X-Men. Yeah.
So there's no Uncanny X-Men right now?
Not at the moment, no.
No, there hasn't been an Uncanny X-Men since Hickman's run.
They're not nearly as strange as they used to be. No,
just the canny X-Men.
Just the canny X. Yes.
I just want the X-Men to go back to the X-Mansion. Why? So it can get blown up again? That's all that ever happens, man. They go back to the freaking X-Mansion so many times, then it gets blown up. The Gaiman Buckingham story is ever finished. I'm sure exactly. That's what.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they'll do Gaiman Omni if ever. I'm sure this is just a stalling tactic until finally Gaiman and Buckingham can finish it. Yeah.
I think this is a surprise here. I don't think people knew about this one. This is the Avengers 3 Scroll War Gallery edition coming out. So of course you have some beautiful artwork here by the late Neil Adams, John Buscema and Sal Buscema finishing out that run. All written by Roy Thomas. This is the classic Kree Scroll War, where pretty much a lot of crossovers, even all the way up to Empire, kind of go back to this, but collecting the classic Avengers run of 89 to 97. This has been previously collected in epic format. Is it the beachfront? What was it called?
This
Curtis?
Beachhead Earth.
Beachhead Earth, thank you. And it's been previously collected in omnibus format. It's been collected in Marvel Premiere. It's been collected in all kinds of format, but this is the first time we're getting it in gallery edition. And if you're not familiar with gallery editions, they're big. They're bigger size books. They're beautiful books.
I've got them right here, in fact. Yeah.
That gallery edition was on Amazon already, but yeah, thanks, Freddie.
Yeah, here's the Warlock one, which is which is pretty enormous.
Yeah.
Treasury editions are the ones that are soft cover, but they're still beautiful books.
Yes.
Black Panther, which I just started reading Volume 1 this week. This is by John Ridley, Volume 2, Range Wars. Man, it seems like Alex Ross is just, I don't know how he has the time to provide covers. Like, how fast I know he does mainly covers these days. So it's just interesting that he's doing covers for just about everything. Stefano Landini and Herman Peralta doing the artwork, collecting Black Panther 6 through 10. And I announced this on our social media, but just in case you missed it, for the people that were worried that Reign of X anthologies were canceled, they are just being rebranded. It does have a different ISBN, so you have to reorder again in case you ordered Reign of X. I can't remember volumes 17, 18, and 19, I think. They're being rebranded as Trials of X. I don't know how long the Trials of X are going to go. I mean, the Trial of Magneto was only 4 issues, so maybe there's going to be just 2 Trials of X? I don't know.
Trials of 10. There's going to be 10 of them.
Shut up, Curtis. You and Grant Morrison.
Grant V's writing Carnage. Did I know that? That might be good, because I don't like Carnage, but I like him.
What? Carnage is great. And also, Grant V is also co-writing the Hulk book, right? With Donny Cates. Lars, are you reading that?
Oh. Look, and Torsten...
No, I'm not, actually. You just can't read everything. Yeah.
And Torsten interviewed Grant V.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did, yes. Yeah. As a Quicksilver fan, please don't ever mention TOM. Trials of Magneto. I know. I was trying to come up with something. Wolverine Origin is getting a deluxe edition, and this is a trade paperback deluxe edition. It's just like I think it's the paper they're using in there. It's got all the extras. Can we get a Carnage Omni reprint, please? Carnage is just a terrible copy of Venom. What? Shut up, Josh.
Say Randy's co-writing Venom.
Oh, that's what he's co-writing with Al Ewing.
So not Hulk.
Oh, okay. Carnage is... Dude, Venom is just a costume that came to life. Think about that.
No.
A costume with a big tongue that came to life. There. Wolverine, the
Josh
Origin.
Pushing your button.
He's pushing my buttons today. This is I assume this is Phil Noto. This is an awesome cover of Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Looks all like old-timey paperback
it's Phil Noto.
Covers for sci-fi
Totally.
books.
Yep.
Alex, yes, I announced that last year. Last year I got to announce Kelly Thompson's. No, I'm sorry. That was Kelly Sue the Conic. Kelly Thompson's run, I announced that a couple of months ago. Yes, it is coming. Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel.
People aren't digging the Wolverine Origin.
Wait. You all didn't like Wolverine Origin?
Said meh, Wolverine.
Okay. I do, and please, Lars, you can correct me because you were working at Wizard during the time.
Yeah.
Wolverine Origin was a letdown for me after years of a mystery. His big behind his background. I wanted more. They were forced to do that. Like they were put into a corner to do a Wolverine Origin because of the movies.
That's not
the story that I've always heard.
No, that's not my understanding. No, my understanding, and you're right, I was kind of a wizard at the time. My understanding is what happened was, especially when Joe Quesada came on board, and this is the Bill Jemas era, I think, and they were asking themselves, what Marvel story has never been told that kind of is the most interesting, the most conspicuous by its absence, and without hesitation, it was Wolverine's origin. And the thinking at the time was they stopped and thought, Wolverine's been around a while now. If we don't do this, someone will. So we might as well do it. That was the thinking. And I thought it was
the movies, because the movies were coming out. They knew one day there was going to be there is a damn movie called Wolverine Origin.
Yeah, I don't think the movies actually factored into it because at the time, X-Men was kind of newly born as a movie series.
But they were huge though.
Yeah, I my understanding is they were just, if we don't do this, someone will. And I understand the people, in the comments who are saying, well, it's kind of a letdown. Yeah, it kind of can't help but be a letdown. But you either tell it or you don't. And their attitude was, somebody's going to tell it. It might as well be us.
I think another thing to factor into this is that Marvel was pulling themselves out of the gutter at the time as well.
Yes.
And they definitely needed
Yes.
to have those high profile books that were
Mhm.
going to get people to buy them. And this is definitely one of those things.
Kurtis is correct. I mean, and this was like, because I was working at Wizard during years where, Marvel was kind of floundering. And then the Quesada Gemis era was like, what can we do to get us back on the board?
Yep. And this really did do it.
And that's when the Ultimate line, that's when the Ultimate line comes about. And then this was part of that process. You're right. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was me coming back to comics and this being my favorite character as this was coming out. I thought the story was pretty decent. In my head, of course, I love Wolverine doesn't need an origin. That's the way I've always thought about it.
I agree.
Wolverine is a man of mystery. It doesn't matter how long he's been alive because then you can tell endless stories about him.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is bad. I think this is it was a fun story. They did what they could. And I love the pencil to like paint like the colors on pencils at the time.
Tapsy Logic was saying. Like it's really it was the end thing.
Very cool.
And he doesn't get credited on here. That was Richard Isanov. He
does. He's got top billing right there. Jenkins, Kubert, and Isanov. They left out.
Oh, on there. Sorry, I was looking at the solicit info. I was looking at the actual solicit info. But yeah, I'm glad he's on the cover because he's a very, very important part of why that the artwork looks so good.
I thought this was a very good story. And I enjoyed it, considering it will never match the origin of Wolverine that's in our heads.
Correct.
Yeah. In a world where nobody can match that, this did very well.
Yep.
And I'm sure they've tried. Oh, and then we got the Wolverine Origins series, but let's keep it fun.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? What are people making you laugh?
Wolverine's hair sideburns need an origin story.
True.
What about Superior Wolverine? Doc Ock is Wolverine.
That would be awesome. Yep.
I'm sure that's coming, and it'll be Sabretooth instead of Wolverine. Didn't they already swap minds at one time?
Sugar Man said, I actually think if Sabretooth was his brother, it would have made it better.
That was something that Claremont wanted to do, and then Larry Hama, and then editors were like, no. That was all different time. Star Wars, Han Solo, and Chewbacca, and collecting the 5-issue series and Life Day. Is this an ongoing, or is this a limited series? Anybody know?
Life Day, that's awesome. That's a Star Wars. That's a holiday special reference.
Oh yeah,
Happy Life Day. Yeah,
it does say that. Happy Life Day.
Do you think the Wolverine origin collected in Wolverine will be collected in Wolverine Omni Volume 8 or 9?
It is weird to see how they're collecting those. Like Wolverine Origin or Wolverine Omnibus Volume 1 is such a one-off for Marvel because they started with Weapon X. Yeah, and it's not done in publishing order like most of their other books. But I'm assuming everything moving forward is in chronological order, so that will be sometime. I don't know. What did they say? 7 and 8? Maybe more like 6,
8 or 9.
6, maybe.
Oh, you don't have to wait as long, Bean.
Yeah, you still have to wait a long time for it to get here, but. Wolverine, the best there is, or Wolverine Origins, which was, dude, we don't talk about Wolverine, the best there is, and I love Charlie Houston, but that story was
oh my gosh,
so
I was
bad.
Outside trimming the hedges, and it made me think of Edward Scissorhands when he was trimming the hedges, and then me think of Wolverine cutting that woman's hair. So there you go.
That's so stupid. Kurtis, it's your time to shine, baby. What are we looking at here?
Oh, hey, this is Thor Epic Collection, The Thor War, Volume 19, a new printing. Yeah, this one, a very odd choice to reprint this because the other version, I think, is still available to order. But I think my guess is that we're going to see, we're going to see Beta Ray Bill in the new Thor movie as a surprise. And so they wanted to have lots of copies of an Epic Collection with Beta Ray Bill on the cover on hand for when that happens. That's my prediction. Let's see if it comes true.
Well, I've got a list for you later. Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, Fall of the Pantheon.
I like how you say
Do we know we knew about this one, right?
Yep, yeah, we knew about all of these. Yeah. This
Okay.
one has been out of print for a long time. A lot of people have been asking for it, so it's great to see that we are getting a reprint.
And it is some of the finest of Peter David's run.
Yeah.
The Pantheon storyline is really interesting. Gary Frank does terrific art. This is worth having.
I think his whole run is just stellar. Even in that last issue where he was just done, and
Well, the last issue is incredible, but yeah.
and absolutely, I'm glad you agreed. Yes, I thought it was wonderful too.
Who are these sad and passionless people who wouldn't agree with that remark? But yeah.
It's one of those things, right? When you think about a final issue of a run, it's hard to say final issue because that story will continue. Hulk will always go on.
Yeah. Well, clearly.
Long past Peter David, obviously, right?
Really, it's an ending rather than the ending.
Right.
I believe it's Peter's favorite single issue that he's ever written.
Really?
Yeah. And
rightly
so. It is really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah. Thor Epic Collection Blood and Thunder. Now I can replace my old trade paperback. Why,
That's right.
Kurtis?
Oh, because this one has more issues. I don't know.
You're so smart. That's why I invite you. You're so smart.
This is a huge crossover with Thor and Silver Surfer and Warlock and the Infinity Watch. And so if you bought the Infinity Watch trade paperbacks, those two thick trades, they left out these issues in the Blood and Thunder crossover. They had all the other issues, but not this one. So pick this collection up.
This is the Thor run to tank the book. This is the Ron Mars era. And I interviewed Ron Mars, 20 plus years ago when I used to have a podcast. And Ron Mars told me the mistake he made with his run was that he was a huge Walter Simonson Thor fan. And he couldn't help but recycle those stories. Yeah. And you can tell like the stories that he enjoyed. And he was like, I made a big mistake. I should have gone in with my own take on Thor instead of like trying to mimic this Walter Simonson stuff.
Interesting.
I will say people are also torn. I'm curious about you two. I love Tom Grindberg's artwork. I think to me it's a beautiful love child of Mike Mignola and Frank Frazetta, but people hate his art. Like, really? I hate his art because I mean it does get a little bit ridiculous how like big and thick his characters are.
He's maybe not among my A-level, artists, but no, I think he's very good.
I think that it depends on what he's doing because sometimes he's fantastic and sometimes he's not. I think didn't Tom Grindberg do some Tarzan stuff for Dark Horse because that was really, really good.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on the book.
Yeah.
Warlock and the Infinity Watch is one that I like to see an omnibus of because I have the soft covers, but I'm not sure it's ever been out in hardcover.
The true Marvel used to not make big X-Men stories to spite Fox. The rumor for a long time was that Marvel was not focusing on their X titles. This is another reason why people hate the Eternals because they were trying to make the Eternals, or not the Eternals, I'm sorry, the Inhumans. They're trying to make the Inhumans kind of be their X-Men type of stories, and it just didn't fly. But that was a rumor. There's no way any of us would really know.
We can never quite be sure of, the thinking of Marvel unless they tell us. But it did seem like Marvel was not very devoted to the X-Men until they got the rights back. And when they got the rights back, suddenly they made a big push for it and put A-list creators on it. And before then, there was a definite sense that they were noodling around. I believe that's the reason why Bendis quit the book. I believe Bendis was told that they were going to do all this jiggery-pokery and the Inhumans were going to come in this way. And he's like, I don't want to be part of that.
Oh, Thunderstrike Epic Collection or Complete Collection. Complete Collection, probably, right? Because an Epic Collection would just be one volume of Thunderstrike.
No way. How many issues that was more than like 20 issues, right?
Was it a 20? I thought it was 24.
Oh, well, I guess you could include you can include some stuff leading up to the series and there's a mini series that came out a few years later, right? Thunderstrike. I don't know. You could probably pad it out.
24 is the final issue. It's issue 24. So that's the end on it. There was a Ron Friends follow-up, right? The Thunderstrike, like his son or something, and then the son joined another team. We do have a super chat. This is for Lars. The question is...
Thanks, Kingsport Cal.
You can read it, baby.
Oh, sure. I want to know if Lars has any cool stories from working at Wizard. I love that mag growing up. Hi, Kurtis. Your book collection is impressive. Adios.
Thanks, Kingsport Cal.
Yeah, Kurtis, tell us about the time that you guys, you're on mute, by the way.
Sorry. Tons and tons of stories. It's a little hard to wheedle them out at a moment's notice. But I did, at the risk of recommending a rival podcast, I did the Wizards podcast. and which has kind of been a reunion hub for old Wizardites. And like I deployed so many stories on that podcast. He was tempted to split it into 2 episodes, but somehow didn't. So it was just extra long, Lars. Yeah, tons and tons. Well, the funny thing was, like, what people forget is that working at Wizard was still a job, and like, yeah, it was very fun and it was very exciting and all this, but it was an actual job where you had to make deadlines and pay the bills and stuff. So yeah, it was terrific in many regards, but a lot of pressure.
Let's see. Iron Fist. Also, yeah, I was thinking of Iron Fist and Killraven. They had one. Sorry. This is very important. Incredible Hulk Epic Collection. And now the Wolverine. Melanie, why is this?
So does it have 181 in it?
Look at you. You remembered.
But he's not mentioned in the...
It says it's written by... It says it's written by Peter David, but that's not right.
This is a mistake. I'll have to let them know.
That's...
Oh yeah, all of the info here is for the other Epic Collection.
Look at you! You remembered. So Hulk info is wrong. I'll have to let them know about that.
Wait, can you go back up? Can you go back up, please?
To the
to that one. I was just gonna say that for an Epic Collection called "And Now the Wolverine," possibly they should have put Wolverine on the cover.
No way, dude.
I was like,
nope. Kurtis and I went over this. That cover has been so overused. It's time for something different, and this is focused on Hulk. I was okay with this change.
Okay.
It's an interesting choice that he's kind of see-through. Like, Banner's kind of see-through, right? Because it's got the line of Hulk's like torso
It's changing
in him. Yeah, I get it, but I don't think it quite.
How are you freaked out about that?
Oh, and I see his feet now that I see more of him transparent. Okay.
You're
not freaked out. I was just like, eh.
You're not worried about the decapitated heads floating in the background?
Who is that? Between the L and the K? Is that Sue Storm? No, she's down there. Who is that? She's
I
just
assume
like...
that's Betty. That is a Bernie Wrightson cover in the back, I think, though. Isn't it, Kurtis?
I think so.
It's awesome.
Where he's fighting Man-Thing?
It's comedic. She's just like...
Looks like Bernie Wrightson's muscles. I don't know if I'm right or not. Covers Derek Robertson. No, it's not, because I'm looking at the wrong thing. Deadpool Epic Collection, Volume 2. What's up, Derek? All right. Kurtis, what is this? Why is this so important?
This is actually not that important, I don't think.
What is wrong?
This is more of Deadpool that's been reprinted a bunch of times already, but it's more of his ongoing series. Issues. What is it? Issues. Oh, I gotta make my screen bigger.
Oh, it's not big enough.
1 to 9. This is the beginning of. No, okay. Hold on a second. Where is my Deadpool?
Okay, so this is the beginning of the Joe Kelly era.
I thought we already had a few of those issues in here. Deadpool 1. Oh no, those are the miniseries. That's right. Yeah, this is the beginning of the Kelly series.
Yeah.
I don't see him dancing. They were saying it looks like he's dancing.
Yeah, I can see that. Scroll down, baby.
Yeah.
So this has Ed McGuinness on artwork. It also has the Daredevil Deadpool Annual 97, which is where he starts his infatuation with death. Wolverine Annual 95, Wolverine 88, which is an awesome Adam Kubert cover where he's like, it's all black and red, and he's got the swords up there. It's not drawn, but I can't remember who draws that. It's a fill-in artist, but I love that cover. X-Force 47, I think that's Adam Polina, and 56. So it shows his appearances on X-Force.
Yeah. So what this does is there's the old Deadpool Classic line, and then there's the Deadpool Classic Companion line, and the Epic Collections are merging those two together.
Thank you, Kurtis. And to wrap up the Tomb of Dracula series is Tomb of Dracula. It's the complete collection, volume 6. That's it. No more.
Mark Wolfman wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Wolfman, Gene Colan, who's just phenomenal, beautiful artwork here. Collecting Tomb of Dracula magazine 1 through 6, Doctor Strange 58 through 62, and material from Bizarre Adventures 33. Now, when David was on, he said that, or he was in the chat, he said that once they were done with this, they would start reprinting them and rebrand them as Epic Collections.
Oh. Yeah. So, some of the early volumes have been out of print for a long time. And Tomb of Dracula is an evergreen title for Marvel. It's always continually in print some way. As soon as they finish one line they started again, and I think it's in Masterworks now, right? They're going through Masterworks.
They are. I've always been a little surprised by the longevity of a couple of these titles, and I don't know if it's because they honestly sell that well or they don't really have to pay royalties on them. But perhaps both. I don't know, but you're right. No, they just started the Masterworks for Tomb of Dracula.
But this does collect some great stories in here. And the Illuminati, this is a trade paperback. Collecting Illuminati New Avengers one-shot and the 5-issue miniseries. Brian Michael Bendis and Brian Reed. I forgot about that guy. He did the Miss Marvel series. Mm-hmm. Alex Maleev and Jim Chung doing the artwork in here. So it's just Illuminati. Probably because of a movie, and that's all I will say. X-Men First Class, Road Trips. So this is the First Class. This is Jeff Parker, very underrated X-Men story for anybody that has not read it. It's great. Issues 1 through 9, $13.99, ages 10 and up, and it is the graphic novel. So it's a smaller scale book. And that's it. Let's go back to the beginning here.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of short.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
It will only mildly break your wallets in this month. Yes.
Well, no, because some February books were already solicited and will be solicited next month too. So it all kind of comes together.
Here, while you going over this again, Kurtis Kingsport Callis asked for a link to your website.
Oh, okay. I'll see if I can get that in the chat. Just a second.
Where'd Lars go?
He was having technical issues. He said, I'm done here. Hi, gang. That is what she said. Blade might be Marvel's most popular character with the least amount of titles he's ever been part of. Super Pro would like a word with you, woke NATO. Omar, was there an OHC of Inhumans by Paul Jenkins 12-issue miniseries? Yes, there was an oversized hardcover that featured his 12-issue miniseries. What a wonderful feeling, Kal-El. Melanie, read that.
FedEx is currently delivering Omnis to me while I watch this.
That fills my heart with joy.
Kal-El also said at the beginning of the chat that he or she wrote 97 to DC for more collected editions of Superman, and they said there was already enough.
What? We wanted Kurtis to drop a link, not drop Lars.
It's true. Sorry, that was my fault. I pushed a button I should not have pushed. Yes. What were we talking about?
Is Infinite Crisis Omnibus worth reading? It is my favorite DC event. I love it. Lars, you made a face. Why'd you make a face?
Well, just because some omnibuses, this is not a judgment on Infinite Crisis itself.
Mm-hmm.
Some omnibuses, they include a lot of tie-in material that gets very variable in quality. Frankly, I find this somewhat with the Infinity Gauntlet omnibus. Is the Infinity Gauntlet itself is awesome, but then there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there.
I love the way the Infinite Crisis is mapped. You have you have the stories that lead up to the one shot that leads to the miniseries. You had the event. You had the important issues in between the event. I thought it was one of the best mapped omnis. But that's my opinion, though.
No, you would know better. You would absolutely know better. Yeah.
Can we get a tease for the Epic show next week? How many new lines are we getting? I think it's just one new line. Nobody look at my reflection on my glasses, by the way.
The Night Nurse Epic Collection. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Let me double check. Okay, here. Okay. So here's the list. Let's see. In January, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 new books and 2 reprints. How about that? And do you all want me to announce the other trades, like complete collections? Do you want me to do that with you?
Totally. Let's do it.
Okay. So there's 2 of those.
They're geeks, Omar. The more, the better. Yeah.
In February, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 new printings. So it looks like we're getting 4 and 2 new printings a lot. And oh wow, I didn't even see that one the first time. So we're getting 2 new lines. In March,
I think we can make educated guesses as to what those are.
Oh, please do. I love that. I love uneducating you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 new Epic collections in March. Nice. 1 new line and 2 reprints.
Okay.
And then a complete collection. In April, we're back to 4 new epics and 2 reprints. And then 1, 2, 3, complete collections, it looks like. One of them is a saga book.
How are we going to find anything to read? I mean, that's just...
It is wonderful. You remember when back in the day, man, when it was like one epic every couple of months? When they were coming out at first?
Well, I'm old enough to remember when there were barely collected editions at all. You know?
Yep.
I do remember those days.
Yeah.
That's where my Batman Year 2 came from. Let's go over this really quick again.
Hold on, before you go, do you see the weirdo avatar there? There's
it's weird.
It's drawn by Michael Allred.
Oh, okay, that's great.
There's a new comic coming out that's going to be comic illustrations of Weird Al lyrics, and a bunch of different names are going to be doing a bunch of different songs there.
Okay.
I think I tried posting the link in the chat there somewhere. Did I not do it the right way?
No, it's freaking stupid. YouTube is just ridiculous. They don't let anybody post links. Do me a favor, send me a direct link on the messenger that we have on Facebook, and I'll put it up here. War of the Kings Omnibus reprint is coming. Yes, back in the day of cave paintings, is Annihilation Conquest Omni getting reprinted? It is not. Any hope of Cantwell's Iron Man will get an OHC? I hope so. On top of that, I want to see Cantwell's Doom collected in oversized hardcover. I want Doom on a bear, like Doom riding a bear on my spine of my Doom book. That's going to be awesome. When are we going to get a Submariner Omni of the 1968 John Buscema? We'll probably take 2. Well, Larry.
When he gets a movie.
Since I love you so much, buddy, I don't think that's going to happen. But there is hope for maybe an
epic collection?
An epic next year. Mm-hmm. How about that?
I love how, since I love you so much, you won't be getting this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, what is your love worth?
Down gently, or
right. You give them the good news first, and then you tell them the bad news. By the way, we're breaking up. I want a divorce. That's how you do it. You mentioned a Dawn of X announcement. I said I would be.
I love you. I'm going to move out. Yes.
A Dawn of X hardcover. There. I'll be announcing that sometime. Realm of Kings Omnibus reprint. No. Omar, do you know what's up with Spider-Man 2099 on Amazon? It says it's coming, but it's no longer available. It's been moved to next year. A lot of books are moving around. Don't freak out because the catalog is going to be a nightmare for the next month. Omar, gosh dang it, Roberto Rodriguez. When is Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4 coming out? When you can admit your love for the Obi-Wan Kenobi arena, that's when I will be announcing Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4. So it's all up to you, Roberto Rodriguez. When did Darth Vader join the chat?
Darth Vader.
I haven't seen him.
Whenever he damn well pleases. Yeah. But quickly, as long as we're paused, someone's been asking a couple times about the Wizard How to Draw features and if Wizard archived them. So the rights to all the Wizard material the company kept getting, like, when it got sold off, it was cannibalized, the rights to the magazine material seem to have gone to Wizard World Convention Company, but then they sold their conventions to Fan Expo. So quite who owns them now, nobody seems to know. Does Fan Expo? Are they just sitting in a holding company? Don't know. I mean, when you say they were archived, they were all archived. They were all kept on disc somewhere. But who has the rights to republish them? Don't know.
In Sensational She-Hulk Omnibus getting a reprint? No. That's one that I have not seen. Omar, when's El Muerto solo? I don't know. When Bad Bunny writes it, I guess. All right, let's quickly go through this. Melanie, can you read as fast as you can? What is this? We're just reading the titles.
No, first, I want to ask people to hit the like button so that these kind of chats can continue, right, with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you. And also check out every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We have a live chat, a Q&A that you all can, join. And we have a positive atmosphere, and it's really fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Advertising.
Look at you. Speaking of advertising, this part of the video is brought to you by Walt's Comic Shop. They're out of Berlin, Germany, where you can pre-order books from DC, Marvel, or any big books you want if you live in the EU. It's a flat rate shipping of €9.90. All emails are answered within 24 hours. That's waltzcomicshop.com. If you put the code Dear Mid Condition, all one word at the checkout, you get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order.
Waltz Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
Nice.
Got it.
Do you need to know anything before Gotham Central? Not at all. Just know that they live in Gotham. All right, Melanie, let's do it.
The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Omni, HC. Let's see. Captain America by Nick Spencer, Volume 1. That was an Omni. Marvel, I never know which parts to read. Marvel Masterworks, Ka-Zar, Volume 3, HC.
Ka-Zar?
Ka-Zar.
His name is
Ka-Zar.
I believe a Southerner would pronounce it Ka-Zar.
Ka-Zar. Amazing Spider-Man Beyond Omni.
Okay, 3 different covers, 2 Arthur Adams and 1 Humberto Ramos. This is the Fortnite
Marvel Crossover. Zero War premiere.
All right. Lionel Francis, you on the cover, and this is a big.
This is what I want to read. Miracleman by Gaiman and Buckingham, Book 1. It's a trade paperback.
All right. There's the cover. Hopefully it's embossed. I think this is the one that people didn't really know about, but it's coming.
Avengers, Kree Scroll War Gallery Edition.
And
here. I
gotta copy this. Mm-hmm.
Black Panther by John Ridley, Volume 2, Range Wars, trade paperback. And we've got, Trials of X, Volume 1, trade paperback. Wolverine Origin, we have mixed feelings on.
No,
Deluxe edition.
Mixed feelings. I said I liked it. And
I said we.
Oh, you guys. Sure. Yeah. I just put
Royal we.
Curtis's channel on the chat, by the way. That is his channel.
Hey,
you are very welcome. Who said that? Who said that? No, Derek. See, this is what happens. Wow, an Omni free month for me. No, because some books are being solicited next month for the same month. So don't say that yet.
Yeah.
Could be true.
Lex Origin. Star Wars, Han Solo and Chewbacca, Volume 1, The Crystal Run, Thor Epic Collection, The Thor War, new printing. Is that a reprint?
Reprints.
Why don't they say reprint? Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, Follow the Pantheon.
Because it's technically not a reprint. They have to issue a new ISBN, so it's a new edition.
Oh, thank you. Thor Epic Collection, Blood and Thunder, Volume 21 in the Thor Epic Collections. Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, and now, the Wolverine. Deadpool Epic Collection, Mission Improbable, Volume 2 in the, I can't read it. Deadpool Epic Collections.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're so good at reading fast.
Tomb of Dracula, The Complete Collection, Volume 6, and it's the end.
That's the last one. Right, Kurtis? Lars, that is the last one?
I'm sure they could scrape up another one if they really wanted to.
Scrape up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a more modern Tomb of Dracula miniseries by Wolfman and Conan that could go in another volume, plus more appearances from Dracula throughout the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, Christy cropped up an Uncanny X-Men. I was actually just rereading the Doctor Strange storyline where they eradicate all vampires on Earth, and like in my mind, it's like that's the end of it. No more vampires. Marvel has no vampires.
The Mortesi formula, that's an awesome one.
Mortesi formula.
Okay, so David, here's Illuminati.
The trade paperback. And then X-Men First Class, Road Trips. What does this stand for, Melanie?
Oh, because it's a graphic novel, so it's smaller. Smaller version for kiddos.
All right.
Anyway.
So for anybody, for people with tiny hands, good eyesight, tiny hands. That's a good book title. All right.
One? Yeah, it still feels short.
What's the book you're most excited about here this month?
D-Rock. I like Curtis's channel for better or for worse. Get it, Curtis? Get it?
I see what you did there.
Buy for Better or for Worse Volume 6 on sale now.
Thank you.
Because Kurtis did the recoloring.
Yep.
Oh, I did a lot of stuff on that one.
Oh, okay. Good. He did a lot of stuff on that one.
Yeah.
What's the book you guys are most excited for here?
I'm looking forward to Tomb of Dracula Complete Collection Volume 6.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent choice. Lars?
I mean, Squirrel Girl. It's one of those omnibuses that like you just don't expect you're going to get, and then it comes along. And we've seen some of those lately. Like I wasn't holding out hope that we'd have Gwenpool either, but we do. So yeah, that'll be it for me, and it won't be cheap, but I'll be getting it.
I'll be honest. I am really, really looking forward to the. Sorry, I'm scrolling through here, but the Captain America by Nick Spencer. I know, it's one of those books that's controversial because of what happened, and people. What happens a lot of times is that people that don't even read comics make comments on these things.
Yes,
and it drives me nuts. As somebody that loves reading, that can appreciate a good story. And I always tell people, it doesn't matter what I think either. If I don't like something, you should give it a try. You may end up loving it. There's a lot of stories that I think are complete crap that Kurtis loves, and vice versa. I'm sure, absolutely vice versa. But
like Alf, for instance.
Yeah, well, I think that's across the board. Everybody hates Alf.
That's because you've never read it, Omar.
You know what? No, I can freely say I've never read a single issue of Alf. Deadpool Epic Volume 2 has Wolverine 88 with Fabio Laguna. Nice Tapsy Logic. That's who it was. Oh man, it's got the copy and paste from like Jim Lee's Sabretooth from issue number 6. It's so bad. Yep. Thor Blood and Thunder, so I can replace the old version.
No, quickly. I think you're right. I think Marvel got a lot of undue flack for that Nick Spencer storyline by people who hadn't read it. Although it kind of is their fault. What happened was they decided to surprise people with it in issue 1, and then explain it in issue 2. And I think everyone was caught by surprise and just leaped to judgment. And I think had they had an issue 1, the Red Skull has done this thing to turn Captain America evil. It probably would have gone down better. But as you say, it's just a bunch of ridiculous people who never read it and don't understand it.
I gotta go because I may be interviewing on Zoom.
Well done.
I gotta go get ready.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Love you. Thank you.
It was nice to be on with you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Bye.
Bye, baby. And yeah, I just wanted to see what everybody else thought in the chat. Everybody everybody's saying it's a light month. It does feel like once a year we get this one light month.
I think that's okay. I don't think we're starved for books to buy, so I think that's okay.
Yeah.
This is these are February or November books. Okay.
This is the September solicits.
Yeah, but these books are all scattered throughout months though, right? Because the end
so
February.
That usually happens once a year.
Yeah.
Hey Omar, I got to meet Don Rosa in Orlando at MegaCon. Awesome, man. And people are saying good luck. Dang it! And I just told her good luck. I will let her know you all said good luck. Looking forward to Blood and Thunder Omni. The Blood and Thunder. What? That's on an. You mean the epic? Yes. Yeah. Wolverine Origins is just Elseworld story to me. Logan is
been referenced many times. Yes.
Light month. Speaking of light month, this month of June, all the Marvel Omnis in the first week. DC Omnis are scattered about. Only 4 Marvel Omnis. July is a little bit like that. August is a little bit like that. But come September, you're going to have to take out a lease on your house.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Unless they start spreading those out. That's why people are seeing a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Omar, are you excited for the Blood and Honey movie with Winnie the Pooh?
Did you see that trailer?
No, I didn't see the trailer.
I've not seen the trailer, but I know of it.
Yes, yeah. Lars. Squirrel Girl is an amazing character.
Well, she is. And but Ryan North was able to really enhance and develop the character. You should also read Ryan North's Choose Your Own Adventures, which is like to be or not to be, which is his Choose Your Own Adventure Hamlet. And he has a Choose Your Own Adventure Romeo and Juliet as well. And those are fantastic. Those are the books that my book club unanimously agreed that they liked. Yeah.
Any idea when Immortal Iron Fist and Venoms by Cates are coming? I feel like I've been delayed a few times. I know Immortal Iron Fist, it looks like to be slipping into next year. I think February of next year. I'm not sure about Omnibus by Cates. So, yeah, I saw that DC is also delaying books. I saw that Rachel Pollack's Doom Patrol is now October. But at least it's not canceled, right? Like, we don't want to see that book canceled. That's the book that they were like, we're never going to do it.
Yeah.
It's not, the scans are too bad. Sir Leonard Nimoy's music career, any new Spidey announcements soon? I think there was a new Spidey book. Let me see. There's a reprint of one.
There's bound to be something in there.
And yes, there is a Spider in January. Yep. And there's a note from David. I should have the title and contents tomorrow. But I do have the volume number. So and Kurtis and I usually get together. When do we do it, Kurtis? Is it 3 times a year? Twice a year?
It's
three times a year, right?
3 times a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas comes 3 times a year.
3 times a year to look over the epic content. It's a lot of fun. Are we ever going to get a Daredevil Wade Ultimate Collection? I'm not sure about that. It would be a complete collection. I think that they've discontinued the Ultimate line and just renamed it or rebranded with a complete collection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we will, honestly. Those books are too popular not to.
Yeah.
We need more Ewing Omnis. Yes, we do. Ultimates would be great. Let's see. He's thinking Mighty Avengers, Cap and his Mighty Avengers, Avengers, Ultron, Ultimates, Contest of Champions, New Avengers, and US Avengers. Any news about that JMS Thor, including Gillen's issues? I don't think that was. I haven't announced that book. You talking about the one that made it into our top 20 most wanted? Well, Marvel first has to agree to do it, and then we can say, "Hey, how about this?" And then they can say, "Yes, no, or maybe." I can't say anything about Conan more than most people know already. But believe me, by the time I think issue 6 of King Conan comes out, everybody's going to know the future of Conan. Lars, is the Material Legion of Superheroes hardcover behind you collected anywhere else? And is it a must-buy for LOSH completist?
Yeah, so what you're looking at is the hardcover edition of the tabloid magazine in which Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl got married. And that is also collected in it's in the normal hardcovers as well. I'm trying to remember if it's in the it must be in the Superboy and the Legion, or is it in the archives? It's either in the Legion archives or the Superboy and the Legion hardcovers that followed. So it's in the normal hardcover run, or you can get this gallery edition, which is still on sale. Yeah.
I have to say though that
I mean, the weird thing is, like, I'm actually a little too young for this. It came out before I was a Legion fan, but it is the marriage of Lightning Lad and Supergirl, Saturn Girl, and it's Mike Grell art, so it's really good.
Nice, Mike Grell.
I think the bigger question is it essential for Legion of Superhero non-completists? Because if you're a completist, then it absolutely is essential, because you wouldn't be complete without it.
If you're a completist, it is available in the normal hardcover run. So you could not. But the thing was, it was made tabloid size, so you kind of want it, that size. But it is available in the hardcover run, and then your life would be complete.
Yeah.
Life would be complete. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I would really love a version of the MCU where everything is completely comic accurate. I don't think that would be as
I actually like when they make changes, because I've already read the stories, so I don't need to just see them in movie form. I want to see a new story. I want to see these characters go in different directions.
Exactly. I may have told the story before, but there's a friend I had to stop going to movies with because he would get disgusted by their lack of purity to the source material, and shout out about this and exclaim it very loudly in the movie theater.
That's not
and
true.
he was in the movies, that glowing cube is called the Tesseract. In the comics, it's called the Cosmic Cube.
Cosmic Cube, right?
And he expressed his disgust for this very loudly to the entire movie theater. I'm dying of embarrassment. And of course, the thing is, also, by the way, they changed it because to a non-comic book fan, the name Cosmic Cube is stupid. It is stupid.
Well, and if they were to go completely comic accurate, they would have to do Fantastic Four first. Everything builds on top of it.
Right.
If you're going to introduce the Cosmic Cube, you have to introduce AIM first. Right?
Yeah.
So
I just think about some of these controversial stories too, right? How are you going to do Carol Danvers comic accurate stories, with her time with the Avengers, when she gets pregnant by her own son?
Right.
What do you? Nobody wants to see. Nobody wanted to see that comics.
You'd have to do one movie that you knew was fairly disgusting, and then you'd have to do, much like Claremont and Michael Golden did, the correction film to explain why it was completely disgusting. So, yeah.
The thing is, we have the comics, and they are reprinted over and over again, and that's where we can go to enjoy these characters and stories,
right,
as they are.
And that's why that medium works, and movies are a different. That's why books turn to script don't always work. Right, they have to change things up sometimes. Yeah. What works in a book, what works in a comic, isn't necessarily going to grab and captivate the audience and keep them in chairs at those theaters. So,
and quite frankly, some of the ideas that came up in the '60s just aren't that great, and they've been improved upon over the years. So when you go to make a movie, let's use the newer versions because they are actually better than they were back in the '60s.
Yes, I mean,
like Iron Man's gold armor, for instance.
Absolute fealty should not be the point to things that we know to be cringeworthy. I mean, there are a legion of superhero stories where they insist that this is from the '60s, where they insist that Saturn Girl must stay behind because she's a woman.
Yeah, that happens in the Fantastic Four.
All those stories.
More shockingly, in one of them, she's the team leader. She's the team leader, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you should stay behind your woman." And she's like, "No, I demand." So it's like, "Oh God, must we? Must we?"
Yeah. Ultimatum as a movie? No.
Ooh, no. Oh no.
Here's a good question for the three of us: what books are you three currently reading or rereading?
Right.
I can go first, or you gentlemen can go. I got a lot on my plate. I'm finishing out Brubaker Omnibus Volume 1 on Daredevil, rereading that. Thor's Fraction, because I hadn't read some of the stories that are collected in there, because they put in so much in there. Finishing up Transformers Phase 3, Volume 2. I was starting to read, Elric. Titan's publishing these big Elric books that are coming out. They've been coming out for a couple of years now. And then just doing a quick reread of some of my favorite stories in that Teen Titans Omnibus that just got reprinted. What about you, Kurtis?
I am rereading early Iron Man Epic Collections, and I'm also reading through the very first thick volume of ElfQuest from Dark Horse for the very first time. I've never read ElfQuest. I mean, I've tried reading ElfQuest before and have not enjoyed it, but these new editions, there's just something about it that I'm really, really enjoying. So I'm doing that. And I just finished reading the newest volume of the Obscure Cities from IDW. These are French European comics that have been translated recently, and they are some of the best high concept sci-fi books that I've ever read. They're really, really great. The newest volume is called The Tower, and they have a bunch of other ones called like The Leaning Girl and The Shadow of a Man. And they're just excellent.
I will say The Leaning Girl, I really enjoyed that one. I'm glad somebody else brought it up. Oh boy, man, it is kind of dense.
Yeah, it's very dense. And The Tower is the one that they just released, and it's very good.
What about you, Lars?
Well, I mean, weirdly, for a couple of years now, I have devoted myself to reading basically all the X-Men books, in the Krakoa era. And I mean, and when you do that, that's quite a lot of reading each week. It's not to complain, it is. So I'm reading almost all the X-Men titles. I'm reading Saga. I'm reading, the one that's been surprising is DC versus Vampires. I wouldn't have thought much about it, and then reading, I'm like, man, this is really good. It's only halfway done. The Human Target is really good. And then the one, let's see, what am I rereading? I'm rereading Marvel Masterworks X-Men 14, which is the slightly it's the Mutant Massacre and beyond that. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm rereading The Walking Dead, the colored editions, and I've read The Walking Dead before, but there's something nice about seeing in color, and those come out every 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, I can reread it at that pace. That's nice.
It is interesting to see those books come out. Like when I think of Walking Dead, I think that book worked perfectly in black and white. I think of like George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, but I'm not opposed to picking them up in color. I don't know if I will or not. Walking Dead is just not one of those series that I've enjoyed. I've read it all. I own the hardcovers. I just never really grabbed me
I was
like
gonna
other
say, isn't
books.
there a whole shelf of it beneath you there, or but yeah. Or that's something else. I couldn't take to the TV show.
Oh man, I
I-
love the TV show so much. I love the
okay.
comics
Oh.
too. Both of them I just love them. I actually Walking Dead's one of the
Really?
shows that I rewatch on a regular basis.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
right.
taking me by surprise.
Okay.
That really surprised
Are you on the side of the zombies? Are you rooting for the zombies?
Yes, of course. No, I love zombie shows in general. I'm currently watching a French zombie show on Netflix called La Révolution, and it's really great. And then there's an Indian zombie show on Netflix called The Batal, and that one's really good too. Zombie shows, there's so much zombie content out there that I really enjoy.
Well, and then some of you will enjoy that I'm also rereading some of the Bloom County comic strip collections, which I've read
Nice.
before.
Those are great.
Yeah, and because Burt Breath, the creator, he was from Iowa. He was doing a lot of it while he lived here. He really captures what it's like to be an Iowan and mildly insane. And you get such crazy storylines like, mimes are being found to be pummeled by someone, and it's discovered that someone's been snapping and pummeling mimes with a pimento loaf. And it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Hey guys, can't decide if I should ditch my Sam Wilson complete collections for the Spencer Omni. Drew, I'm going to give you the Omar approach when it comes to these things. I don't believe it until it's physically in my hand. I know Marvel hardly has any cancellations, but just in case, I don't believe it until it's in my hand. And also, if you have the complete collections, the Omnibus isn't complete. You're going to need a volume 2 to wrap up Sam Wilson's Captain America run. Those complete collections have everything already. Now, when you see a solicit for volume 2, you make sure to run by volume 1 before it goes out of print, because that's usually how those things happen.
Yeah. There's a certain time frame, the window that you have to you don't, if you have all the soft covers, you don't want to jump onto the hard covers until you know that the Omnis are all going to come out, because there's also things like they take years between sometimes to come out, unless you're Peter David Hulk.
Like Ant-Man.
Like Ant-Man, oh man.
Well, and in fact, these are good problems to have. But I had just committed, and I have it in softcover. I just committed to buying a Fall of the Mutants omnibus, and then Omar announces the next X-Men Masterworks, and I'm like, I should have known. I should have known.
There you go.
I should have known.
Well, I mean, X-Men is just one of those things that's always going to come out in Master. When is X-Men, like March or February?
Yes, but it took me a while to get into the groove that it seems like these current ones, they're intended putting out one a year, because some X-Men Masterworks, there's been like 3 years between them. But that's shortened a lot now. So I should have. Let's see, I should have known. But I didn't.
Yeah, I think those are a given. With Epic Collections, you never know where they're going to go. They go jump back and forth. Like Kurtis is like, oh, I wanted to read the next volume of the Silver Age. Looks like I'm going to wait another year, maybe 2, before the next volume comes out.
Or 7
Well,
years.
Well, see, for me, the dilemma was, do I stop getting the Masterworks and just fill out the rest of the Claremont run with Omnis? Because those Omnis are available right now.
Right.
And but here we are. Still no Guardians of the Galaxy by Bendis Omni 2. That is a little strange. It would be shorter, but that is a little strange.
Yeah, it's only 2 OHCs, but could they put the Black Vortex story in there? Would that be in there, or was that towards the end of the first volume? The thing is like, I don't think it sold well enough the first time around, but maybe with a reprint, I don't know. Those seem to surprise me sometimes, what ends up selling. Dazzler Bus confirmed. No, not yet. When is Ven Omnibus Volume 4? It would be the Agent Ven Omnibus, the Rick Remender Ven Omnibus with who else? Cullen Bunn? I don't know. Haven't heard about that one. We need a Mike Carey Omni. Yes, we do. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Black Vortex was at the end of the first Omni. Yeah, but it didn't collect like all the other stuff, right? Like Star-Lord and X-Men. Or no, it didn't collect the X-Men issues either. And we do need a Miss Marvel Volume 2. I think it's been enough time. You know what's going to happen. They're going to probably make it an all-in-one, make a big Miss Marvel Omnibus. So your Marvel Omnibus, Miss Marvel Omnibus Volume 1 will sit there, and you'll be like, oh, man, should I keep that or get rid of it and get this new Omnibus, or just keep that and get the 3 oversized hardcovers I need? Why did they reprint Ven Omnibus Volume 1 and not 2 and 3? Because when I announced Volume 1, 2 was still in print. This is what I meant. Like, when I make an announcement, like, go and make sure you go and buy Volume 1, because that's usually what happens. And I'm not saying it's scalpers that are eyeing these announcements like, oh, I'm going to go and buy 30 copies of Ven Omnibus Volume 2 right now if Volume 1's getting reprinted before they reprint 2. But, I mean, sometimes they know what they're doing. Will they reprint a Wade Fantastic Four Omnibus? I'm sure. Didn't even have the Alpha and Omega issues with Black Vortex. That's why we have.
Yeah,
that's why I bought the OHC.
That's true. Yeah. Someone's asking, how good is the Wonder Woman Omnibus by Azzarello? I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Be advised, it's not a traditional take on Wonder Woman.
Nope.
So if you're very much a Wonder Woman purist, you might not like it. I'm a bit more flexible in that regard. It was very interesting beginning to end. It's not actually necessarily the best vehicle for Diana herself, but it was very interesting beginning to end and great art. Yeah.
I like the horror aspect of it. I thought it was interesting.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, that worked. Yeah.
It was one of the most interesting origin stories. Don't know about Ven Omnibus 4 Sound System. I'm serious. I don't, unless I'm saying I'm giving you a hint, I don't throw hints. Like, people look at my thumbnails and see me wearing a blue tie and they're like, oh, it's Fantastic Four. And then they get disappointed when it's not Fantastic Four. And I'm like, or they look at my poses sometimes. I'm like, man, there's only so many poses a human body can do that like, you run out of thumbnail ideas. I just don't like. I think one time I was flexing and people were like, "Oh, he's got to be announcing a Hulk or a Power Man omnibus," and turned out to be like Squirrel Girl. I think I was like, "Nope, I just ran out of thumbnail poses." That's what happens. Unless I say I'm throwing a hint.
I appreciate the position you're in. I know that the Doctor Who restoration team who was working on Doctor Who releases, they had to stop saying things publicly at all because they would like say things like, "Oh," people would ask them questions and they would be like, "That thing there is not happening." And everybody would assume they were lying. And they're like, well, if you're just going to assume we're lying, we will say nothing at all.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But you can't do that.
Commenting back to people and things like talking back to the commenters. Because it is wonderful to keep a conversation going. But when I get hit up with like specific questions, like I signed an NDA. I can't even talk about it. And I have to be really careful. So I'm trying not to be rude when somebody just messages me, "Hey, when do you have any idea of this?" I honestly don't know, and if I did, like I couldn't say anything. They take that as like, if you did, then that means it's coming, right? Like, and I'm like, no, that doesn't mean that. I don't know when we're gonna get a.
Yeah, I mean, you draw the line. I feel that and this is good professionalism. You draw the line very strongly about on this date, we're going to announce some epics. On this date, we're going to do these things or announce them. And people keep asking you. And it's like, oh, well, since you asked.
Well, like,
it's
I
like,
don't
no,
think
there's the deadlines.
Like when people find the leak to the Ant-Man Epic Collection Volume 2. If it's already out there, if they put it in the catalog, then of course I can talk about it. That was the hint that I gave on Saturday because I knew it was going to be leaked. Yeah. And I said, and I think people probably asked Kurtis, "Omar said this. What do you think, Kurtis?" And Kurtis was like, "Well, it's either Ant-Man or something else."
That's exactly how that went.
It was a strong enough hint. Thank you so much, Nick. A little contribution to Omar and the team. They rock out. Great content. Please hit that thumbs up. Likes are free. Support is priceless. Thank you so much, sir.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very good.
Nick, when are we going to get that boys omnibus? People, that's one that I do get asked about. Is it still coming in June, buddy? June. When's the last time I had it? Third week of June, I think. Will Doctor Who comics ever collect?
Yeah.
They do collect them.
Sometimes. Yeah, we talked about this last time, and I realized I didn't, as Lee Gannon came in the channel and corrected me, and he was correct. He was right. I didn't quite give the right information. Titan has a license to make some new Doctor Who comics, but Panini, who makes Doctor Who magazine, has a lot of the rights to the old Doctor Who magazine content. And when you say omnibuses, I presume what you're wanting mostly is the Doctor Who magazine content. So that would be up to Panini. I think they're missing a trick. I think there's a lot of great stuff in there, and yeah, they could really make some money off that. But
who has the Marvel Doctor Who issues?
Well, the Marvel Doctor Who issues were just reprinting the Doctor Who magazine material. Yeah, so those were just reprints. That was the Dave Gibbons stuff.
Who would publish that then? Is that Titan?
Well, okay, yeah. So this is where I
Panini,
got
I
a
think
little
it's
wrong
Panini.
last time, for which I apologize. Panini has the rights to the Doctor Who magazine stuff that goes back to 1979, and then the Titan has the rights to the new stuff. But when you're talking omnibuses, I presume what people want collected is the Dave Gibbons material, Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, that sort of thing, which is Doctor Who magazine.
So I'm interested in those particular stories because there's a Transformers and Death's Head crossover with Doctor Who, which is where Death's Head first appeared.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm like, that's never going to be collected anywhere. Or maybe Titan overseas can do it. That would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel could publish Death's Head, but not Transformers, and definitely not Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left the Doctor Who issue out of the Death's Head collection that came out.
Exactly. And I would assume that if there was a Doctor Who collection, they would leave out the Death's Head issue. I mean, just because, it's just one would have to buy a license from the other, and it's just kind of not worth it.
Omar, here you go. June 22nd is volume 1 of the Omnibus. June 29th is volume 2. That's crazy, Nick. It's back to back.
Holy cow.
Volume 6 is, July 6th is volume 3, and that wraps up the Boys Omnis, and one that many of you have asked me about and been looking forward to. The fact that Omar didn't mention Greg Rucka Wonder Woman Omnibus. Okay, look, it was there last year. I change it every year, Woke NATO. And King's Portal Cal is asking, is that Excalibur poster? It is. The thing is awesome.
It is. Oops.
But pretty soon we're going to get Lars filled up with bookcases. He ain't going to have room for posters. Right, Kurtis? When's the last time you saw a wall, Kurtis? Right? We don't have room for posters here.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have room for posters, do you?
I have some art I want to display, and I just can't. I don't know where to put it.
Yeah, just believe me. There's some good posters behind these bookcases.
Kurtis, I've never seen you standing in relation to the shelves. Can you reach the top shelf? Or do you?
He's like Bell. He gets a little ladder.
He's going to demonstrate now. Okay. Yep. Okay. The view's a little odd from where you're sitting, but yeah. Okay. Got it.
It does go up to my ceiling, though. Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking forward to an eventual Blood and Thunder Omni. Not confirming it. Thank you, sir. Let's see here. Take a couple more questions. Use posters art as bed sheets and line. Interesting. That's. I don't think you can do that, right? What's the over and under seeing the Impulse series collected in the later Wade Flash Omnis? Well, we got an announcement of one. Remember, it was in the catalog, and then they took it out of the catalog. Yeah. But it wasn't Wade's. It was, oh my goodness, Lars. Who followed Wade on Impulse?
Ooh, I don't really remember.
Why is my brain going Jim Zub? It's not Jim Zub. Oh my gosh. Ethan Van Sciver did the artwork. Who the heck was the writer on Impulse at the time?
I am the sort of weirdo that sometimes when Mark Waid quits a book, I stop reading.
Todd DeZago. That's who it was.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick, that's who it was.
Todd DeZago.
Unfortunately, that got canceled though. Like DC pulled it. Like it was in the catalog, and then they decided to pull it, blaming that the same thing that they said with Rachel Pollack's Doom Patrol. Because those were going to come out in trade paperback first. Yeah. But they said that the masters were just so horribly scanned, they couldn't do anything with them.
I don't know why. They have, because they're putting out an omnibus.
Well, I just don't know why you can't rescan them. But, I mean, you are the...
Rescanning only gets you so far sometimes. I suspect the bigger concern is they didn't sell that great or the orders weren't that great because a Rachel Pollack omnibus has a bigger price point, so we'll have a bigger profit margin. I would think
if it sells, right? I'd love to get her on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I presume in omnibus form it will sell well enough to be worth doing, but in a way that a trade paperback might not be worth doing. So,
correct. When does the Invincible season 2 come out? That I don't know. No, I really enjoyed the first one. I thought the first one was good. What comic? Oh, this is such a good question because I actually have my. So I'll give you one. What comic arcs would you guys like to see in a gallery edition? Kurtis. I like to put Kurtis on the spot. Yeah. You already have an answer, though.
I would love to see the first 7 issues of Generation X. as a gallery edition. Old
Okay.
school Chris Bachalo artwork. It would just be absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Lars.
New Mutants graphic novel, because that first New Mutant story was part of their graphic novel series. So it was meant to be seen bigger. So that's what I would like.
Stay with me. But Trouble by Mark Miller.
He said it with a straight face.
Oh my gosh! I don't think even Mark Miller would want that. No, it's gotta be Triumph and Torment. Like that book right there. That's the one. It's on my top 10 list. That book is perfect. When you mention graphic novel size, that book is perfect as a gallery edition. It's beautiful artwork by Mike Mignola, written by Roger Stern. To me, it's like the best Doctor Strange story. I love that story. So, yeah.
Someone thinks the Demon Bear saga. That would be very good too.
It's good one. Good Sienkiewicz artwork in there. But I mean, there's a lot that they can do, and hopefully, they keep selling. They've got a couple coming out next year. I haven't announced yet. One that's very surprising, but I guess we'll see what people think when I get to announce it.
Controversy.
Lars, I want to pick up the G.I. Joe book that you did. It's sold out. Is it sold anywhere? Yeah, Lars.
That's very kind of you. As I keep saying, it's not my best work. It's available on Amazon Print on Demand. So,
really?
So you can buy a copy there. Mm-hmm.
Can they buy it from you?
No, because I'm out. I literally have like 3 archive copies, and that's all I have. Yeah.
Trouble Gallery Edition confirmed. Rachel Pollack just did Fortress Comics podcast. I bet. Yeah, I'll ask her. I've always wanted to get to talk to her, especially about her run. Because not a lot of people know about her run or have read it. Any Omni announcements anytime soon? Waiting on a couple of assets from Marvel. What's that?
Like every day, it seems.
Like every day? No, none this week or last week. So there comes. But sometimes when they hit, I have to get them out. Bam, 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 because then the catalog hits But yeah.
Someone says, I hope I live long enough to see Keith Giffen's Doom Patrol as an omnibus. Yes, me too. Yeah. I think, as you say, they solicited the 3rd trade paperback. They crapped out on that. I think an Omni would be great. If the Rachel Pollack one sells well, then hopefully they'll do John Arcudi and Keith Giffen. But yeah.
Looking past the fall 22, I'm not seeing any more of those digest-sized Mighty Marvel Masterworks. Have they announced that series? Nope. That series is not ending. It is continuing. It is a strong seller for them. I actually talked to David about this. It's because there's so many delays going on this year. They have to push some books back until next year. So that line will come back next, I think January, I think is when it's coming back. So the last one will be the Black Panther this year in October. November, December won't have one, but I think January is when they're going to come back with it. Don't quote me on the date, but it is coming back. Because my kids love them, and we do family reviews because right now they're reading Captain America Silver Age. So I enjoy them too.
Good.
We're close to having all of Doom Patrol in oversized format. That's such a good feeling. I know Kurtis doesn't understand what that feels like, but
it is partly that's because, and I say this with love, Doom Patrol's publication history is so patchy, and there's been so many years where it has not been produced. But yes, you're right. That is pretty awesome. Yeah.
It would be a 2-in-1, John. A Marvel Gallery Edition. Oh man, I was so excited for you all. Have no idea how I was excited for Trouble. The return of the epic line at Marvel. One of the hottest writers at the time, Terry Dodson, who was a great artist. And then that first issue dropped, and I said, "Nope, not for me." People have asked to review Trouble. I don't even. It did come out in trade. I think it came out in standard hardcover too, because it has like those chicks on the cover, like the actual live action models. I think, right?
They were
on the issues. Yeah,
my vague and hazy memories of it. Yeah.
Wow, they used those as covers. My goodness. I feel like Jonathan Hickman's work across Marvel will influence the MCU for the next few years. You think that he should be brought in as a sort of as a consultant? He should be well compensated at least. That's a tricky thing. It goes back to the whole. I'm gonna leave this up for a second so we can talk about this, and I do have to get going. That's a tricky question because it goes back to what we were saying earlier. These are two different platforms, right? You have movies and you have comics. A comic is told rather well, doesn't translate good into a movie and into a cinematic experience. They can borrow elements from somebody's run. Hey, just off the top of my head, like Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is a freaking awesome movie. Yes, it borrowed heavily from Brubaker's run, but I think because of the creators and the direction that they went with that, it would have still been an awesome movie, even if they had borrowed elements from Mark Grunwald's Captain America.
Yes, although shamefully they have not been paid. And, especially when they've helped to conceptualize this thing, which isn't the freaking title. It would be nice if they get paid. So yeah, Jonathan Hickman, because elements of Hickman's work just showed up in the last Doctor Strange movie. And you just think we don't always know how payments are occurring here. He should get paid something. Maybe not, huge bags of gold, but he should get paid something. It's only fair because clearly it's directly taken from him. And we know this.
It's a difficult. People have asked my opinion. This is just my opinion. What I think about these things, like when Ed Brubaker came out and said he was, for the whole Winter Soldier thing, he was upset. So I always look at it like, taking a step back and look at it as a business perspective, right? Like I was in IT for 20 plus years. If I created a code for a company, I was working for that company. That code no longer belongs to me, right? So these people were working as, under contract. And unfortunately, part of that is, yes, some of the stuff might get turned into a movie. That movie might make billions of dollars. You might get a $500 check. I don't know how it works, honestly.
It's a bit different here when you can draw the A to B a lot more direct of somebody creating a character or creating a concept more strongly than if you're doing a bit of coding. And there's pretty much all you don't. Again, we're not saying pay them millions and millions. There's always room to pay the creators because paying the creators usually doesn't even equal the catering bill.
No, I understand that, but it's one of those things that I see a lot of creators, talk about these things, and it's hard. How do I put this? If not for Captain America, a lot of people would not have been buying the Ed Brubaker's books, right? It's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people found out who Ed Brubaker was through his Captain America run, through his Daredevil book, through Gotham Central. DC and Marvel do have their things where they put your name out there, and that's good. Like that will get people to follow writers. A lot of writers I follow based on their work that they did at DC and Marvel. I want to see their independent work. So I think this would be a really good topic to talk about because it's so hard to say what is fair. Especially, I remember interviewing Len Wein many years ago, of course, because he passed away a few years back. But we were talking about this exact thing. He signed
because he didn't get paid for Wolverine, did he?
He got $0 for Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but he would get a little bit for Lucius Fox, and Lucius Fox was in those Christopher Nolan movies. So it's things like that because and then that was also a different era. That was before contracts. That was before
partly that, and also
Superman, right?
And this is a much bigger discussion. Also, partly because he was a salaried employee when he created Wolverine. He was a freelancer when he created Lucius Fox. That does change the equation some.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, yeah, because again, Doctor Who is just nuts. If you were a salaried employee for the BBC and you created something for Doctor Who, forget it. That's it. You're salaried, but they're paying you a living wage. But if you were freelance, then you could have some claim on the things you created. And in the case of the Daleks, that can be worth quite a lot of money. So that's how that worked.
To go back to the point of his consultant, though, I think wasn't Chris Claremont and Mark Miller brought into those Fox movies as consultants?
I think so. It gets a little unclear. I mean, Claremont was in one of the movies as an extra.
So was Brubaker.
Yeah. So was Len Wein. I think. I don't know. We can have a much bigger, we should do a video on this. We can have a much bigger discussion about this.
Yeah, I think this is a good
I
topic.
think for me, at the end of the day, we can disagree on. We can talk through how much they're entitled to. There's always something unsavory about when that answer is 0.
Oh,
I think that if unfortunately the movie company doesn't promote the same way, but I mean Marvel likes to promote their books based on the writer. I mean, Avengers by Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah.
Like, that is a selling point that Jonathan Hickman is the writer. Disney doesn't see it that way. Disney doesn't
absolutely.
see.
And they never, well, not even Disney, but even when Fox was doing movies, Sony was doing movies, they don't even promote their own books through the movies, right? Like, people have this misconception of like, oh, it's $1 billion movie. How many more new comic book readers are we going to get? I mean, they do happen. Yeah, but it doesn't happen in the way that it should happen, and that a lot of that has to do with marketing. A lot of the reason why those movie companies, they get to keep the billions of dollars. Meanwhile, the comic books and creators don't. Thank you for the super sticker, Kevin. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Harlan Ellison's famous rant, which is available on YouTube, about paying the writer. I mean, he was absolutely right. I mean, these are multi-billion-dollar companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, and there's room in there to pay the writer something.
Yeah.
If they can discernibly create something that is, used in this, pay them something. It doesn't even have to be a lot. We can all agree it doesn't have to be like. Should Len Wein have become unbearably rich because he created Lucius Fox? Probably not, but he was paid something. So yeah.
Well, and then to end it all on a sad note, but then I think of like people like Bill Finger. Like,
oh God!
Long before at least people giving credit, it's messed up. But at this moment, I just want to tell everybody, if you live in America, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com. Mm-hmm. They have books up to 50% off, and tell them Near Mint Condition sent you their way for free shipping on your first order. They do have a new website, so hopefully we'll have some Near Mint Condition discount codes sometime soon. But I will let you all know when that happens. Kurtis, when you're not hanging out with me talking about epic books, where are you?
Well, I'm talking about epic books elsewhere. You can search for Epic Collections on Facebook, and that's where I kind of hang out a lot of the time, talking about epic collections. But you can also find my podcast at epicmarvelpodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. And I'm on YouTube. I think the link was in there in the chat somewhere. How about you, Lars?
I'm at madnorwegian.com, and you can take a look through our catalog of Doctor Who books and whatnot. And some of the books that I wrote back in the day are up again on Amazon Print on Demand. I did a book on, let's say, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Buffy, Angel. The Buffy and Angel ones are still pretty good, I think. So, yeah, that's me, madnorwegian.com.
And I am the Uncanny Omar. Thank you again to my wonderful co-host for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
We do this monthly, so I'll be back next month with October. Dean, I don't know about Avengers 2. I think it's next year sometime, though. I'm not sure when. I don't think anything is solid yet on what dates are going to be. So as soon as I get like an updated list, I will let you all know. Check us out on Patreon, Spreadshop, great ways to support the channel. And thank you all for joining us for the live stream. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like button on the way out. Thank you, everyone. Stay healthy and safe. Much love.
Thank you all.